대회는 별로 관심 없어서요.
아까워서 그래. 대회도 관...
네. 안녕하세요.
준비물은 가져오셨죠?
Hello there, guys. It is time for another weekly vlog. So I did manage to curb my enthusiasm for reading like my friends here on BookTube. I really want to continue doing that. But first, I should finish some things. And also I need to prepare for some of the read-alongs that I'm hosting. So I'm really proud of myself that I didn't just jump into some new books and a new person this week. But maybe next week if I'm very good this week and finish a lot of reading. So this week is going to be really busy, really social. I'm trying to acclimate myself to social things again because it's been a while since I just went all out social all the time. And I want to do that again because that will help me be less nervous and anxious when I'm around people. So that's something that I was talking about with my therapist. I just started a study for an hour every day challenge on Bunyan Academy. And I was so nervous for the first like 5 days, 6 days. And today was the 7th day, June 6th, and it went so well. Yesterday went really well. Today went really well. Yeah, so I'm just learning that I need to... what we were doing was watching a K-drama, and we were taking notes on words that we knew or words that we didn't know, and putting them in the chat, and kind of guessing what the drama was about, because we wouldn't have English subtitles. We were going completely off of Korean subtitles. And tomorrow we're going to be watching a drama without subtitles at all. So it'll just be listening and watching and no reading of subtitles. So I'm excited for that event tomorrow. I think I'll catch a lot less doing that because my ear isn't as good as my eye when it comes to Korean. But that's good. I need to practice that. I really need to work on my comprehension, but I'll need to read in order to do that. And there's no classes right now in Bunyan Academy for reading. So that'll be my next goal. So this whole time I've been talking about learning Korean. So yeah, what do we have this week? So yesterday I got a lot of work done. Not a lot. I haven't gotten a lot done. I need to work a lot this week though, because I haven't been doing well with that. So I also have Bible study tonight, so I studied a little bit of Daniel this morning, but I didn't get that much done before 10 a.m. classes started on Bunyan Academy. So my mother-in-law is coming over, and we're going to batch cook a meal for my week, and then we'll probably watch a K-drama. So more Korean practice, and then after she's gone, I will need to prepare for Bible study a little more because I didn't finish my Daniel stuff, but I also need to work. So hopefully I can do both of those things before Bible study at 5. So that's the plans for today. I also did start reading Pilgrim's Progress this week, and it's going really well so far. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I haven't been reading I was aiming for 5% per day because that's what I was doing when I started. And I was like, this is doable. 5% per day is doable. And then yesterday I had a terrible morning of anxiety and I just didn't get that much reading done during the day. So, and during the day, I mean like during meals and when I'm stretching, doing my physical therapy stretches, that's when I have time to read during the day. Otherwise, I'm usually reading at night or like first thing in the morning. But I, yeah, haven't had as much time for reading first thing in the morning since I'm doing this study an hour a day in the mornings with Bunyan Academy. So, but regardless, really enjoying this. As you can see, I'm already marking it up. I have some notes. And Krista and I did decide we're going to be doing a live show instead of a Zoom for this because so many people are joining us. So excited to talk about this with you guys. I don't know, maybe I kind of still want to do a Zoom. I'm just afraid it'll be too gigantic. So, I don't know, I'll let you guys know. We also may be doing some reading sprints for this. Hopefully on Krista's channel, we'll see. So, enjoying this so far. It's following Christian throughout the travails of life and kind of throughout his journey of meeting different people and how they impact his journey, his like Christian journey. And then I also have been reading Nothing to Envy in the evening, finally. I've been just waiting to dive into this in the evenings. And I'm enjoying it so much. I'm still only on like page 61, but we're following, currently, there's several characters that we're following. So it follows ordinary lives in North Korea, is what the subtitle says. Sorry, lots of alarms. And so the one woman that we're following now is like a middle-aged mother who was like a true believer in in the Kim dynasty, the personality cult, because basically these people are told from birth the lies. They're like indoctrinated from birth. But her husband is a journalist, and so he sees firsthand how the truth is always in the media in North Korea, really blurred and like actually taken out of the articles that he writes. There is no truth left by the time it gets to the public. It all just becomes propagandized, and so he is not a believer, and one of their daughters is not a believer, and so they end up like getting drunk, you know, him and a trusted friend who's a journalist. They get drunk and like roar all of their displeasures about the system and how they don't believe anything whenever the wife is not around and whenever the neighbors can't hear, because it's really scary. You know, he made an offhand remark once about how, oh, if there's so much wonderful production of shoes in North Korea, why can't my family have shoes? And so people reported him. And the wife was really mad at him for talking about that, because she was a true believer. And she was like, I've never been in trouble. And she has this impeccable record. And here he is putting their family in danger. So, yeah, the family dynamic, I am fascinated following this family. Really, really interesting. Cannot wait to keep reading. I love this so much. I just haven't been making as much time for it because I've been doing other projects. But this is so good. So good. And yesterday was a really busy social day too. Maybe that's why I didn't read as much, because it was so social right from the get-go, because we posted our K-Drama-thon announcements. So if you haven't watched that, definitely check it out, because we have so many events happening. We're going to have a K-Drama watch-along in Tiffany's Discord. We're going to have a read-along with live sprints and a live show. We're going to have a prayer meeting for North Korea with a PowerPoint, informational PowerPoint. We're going to have K-pop Mad Libs on my channel live. We're going to have a discussion of Yeonmi Park's 2 books. We have so much happening. It's so exciting. So definitely I will link the information down below in case you missed it, about our schedule. I have like a Google Doc with all of our events that are scheduled and all the dates and like the giveaway info. Did you see Tiffany's bingo board? Because it is the most gorgeous bingo board I've ever seen in my life. I'm just so amazed. She made it just so beautifully, and it's tricolor to help you keep track of the different types of prompts. There's like life prompts that you can do, like make a Korean recipe. There's K-pop prompts that are inspired off of K-pop. There's K-drama prompts that are inspired off of K-drama, like snow and flower petals or something that always show up in K-drama. So we put those on there. They're usually a sign that 2 characters are going to fall in love in the future if they meet up and then flower petals or snow falls on them. Snow is like a huge one. So anyways, the board was really fun. And if every bingo you get an entry into our giveaway, which is $25 from one of those online bookstores that everybody buys from. I don't ever buy books, so sorry, I'm not, I can't remember the name, but it's one of those online bookstores that ships like everywhere almost. Not everywhere, but to a lot of places. So if you want to enter the giveaway, you just have to tag the hosts, Yoon or Tiffany or me, on social media or in Tiffany's Discord and let us know what bingos you get. So I hope that you'll all take part in that. You don't have to read like romance books in order to participate. You can read whatever books you want. Try to fit them to the challenges. And you could win the prize. Even if that's all you want to do for K-Drama, you could do that. So it's my first giveaway, so I'm excited to be running a giveaway this year. So that's kind of what's going on. Thursday night, I have live sprints on Jenny's channel. Yay. Friday, I'll have physical therapy out of town. So Kevin and I will be going out of town, hopefully getting some yummy food. Thursday, I may also go get some lunch with my mom, so I'll take you along with me for that. And Saturday, I have a Zoom with Jenny and so many Korean events. So many Korean events that I'm all of these kind of blue gray-y things are like Korean events that I need to keep track of. And I write them in that so that I can erase them if they get in the way. It's like an erasable pen. Anyways, yeah, I think that's mainly all I have to say right now. So, oh, and I am listening to things as well. 70% through Brightness long ago. Loving it so much. I started Moreland Cottage last night. Elizabeth Gaskell is so good. She is so good. She instantly got me interested, and I'm already loving it. So I haven't started Cloud Cuckoo Land yet, but I think Victoria just finished her current read, so we'll have to start that soon. So that's why I'm trying to finish A Brightness Long Ago on audiobook so that I can listen to that. And maybe I'll switch to reading that now. I don't know. We'll see. I also got this biography of Mao, which I've been wanting to read. It already went back to the library once and it just came back. I think I have a little bit too much going on to read it right now, so I might say, you know, deliver later. But anyways, okay, that's the plan. My mother-in-law is going to be here any second, so I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching these vlogs, by the way. I really love hearing from you guys, and it's really exciting to be updating you more frequently and getting out fun themed vlogs, because I always have ideas for themed vlogs, but it usually takes me forever to film them because I'm like, I need to actually finish books. But, you know, you guys don't seem to mind if I don't finish a book in a vlog. As long as I can talk about it, which I always have thoughts. I always have plenty to share. That seems to be enough. So thank you for supporting this channel, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye! Hello there, guys. Well, these vlogs are just slowly like deteriorating into me carrying the camera around from thing to thing as I do my life and bring you along with me. I guess that's not terrible. That's sort of what vlogging is, right? Well, I'm just grabbing some dinner because I'm on Reading Sprints with Jenny, as I just vlogged and showed you. And I just need to grab some of this yummy food that my mother-in-law made for me when she was over here the other day. We made it together to some degree, but it's always just like, it's so helpful that she comes and helps me because, and my mom as well, because it would just really drain me if I had to do it all myself. So what this is it's a breakfast bake that Tiffany actually gave me with like corn and zucchini. Did I already tell you this? I may have. With corn and zucchini and artichoke hearts and like those tomatoes that are packed in oil, like the dried kind. And with eggs and beef, so lots of protein. And I used coconut milk. So I actually need to eat it quickly because it will go bad otherwise. Coconut milk goes bad so fast. But yeah, it's super delicious. So I'm just gonna heat that up while I'm giving you guys the rundown of my reading lately. So on these reading sprints, I've been reading Crying in H Mart, and oh, I only have like 4 minutes left in this sprint, so I might have to like stop and come back later. But I read chapter 1 of Crying in H Mart, and guys, it is so good. It's definitely like super Korean. So there was one quote in here. This is following, by the way, a musician, Michelle Zauner. It's her memoir. She's a writer for like, I don't know, The New Yorker, Harper's Bazaar, and Glamour. And this is her memoir of the time after her mother died and kind of her memories from maybe before that point. And there's lots of food writing in it, which I think is what I'm most excited about. But just like learning about Korean culture in general, I'm always excited and up for that. So let me put this away really quick. So she mentions in here that growing up Korean has given her a reverence for good food and a predisposition to emotional eating, which I thought was funny. I'm always just really fascinated by how Koreans eat and what they eat, because like mukbangs came from Korea. I love mukbangs, they're really interesting. And Korean food is like just so full of, I've heard that it's more nutritional than flavorful, but honestly to me it seems really flavorful. So loving that. And then another thing that she mentions in here is seeing a young man sitting with his mom. Hang on.
All right, how did everybody do?
Hi. So, at the door we had some kind of salesman who was. That's why I had to stop talking with you last time. But we're on another sprint, so I've been reading the Pilgrim's Progress again. I'm at page 68. So I think I'm gonna start aiming for 100 pages every week. So today's the 8th, so it's been 1 week and I'm not quite to 100 pages, so I'm behind on that. But by the end of week 2, I'm gonna aim for being 200 pages through. And if I aim for that, then I'll probably finish it in time. At least that's what I'm thinking. And I think I was still talking about crying in H Mart, which I have over here. So what I was saying that I was loving about this was that there is a podcast that I listen to called Sponge Mind Podcast, and it involves an American who is in Korea with his in-laws and his wife, and a Korean that lives in America. And so they talk to each other on this podcast, and they make the podcast transcripts free for Korean learners, which is so generous. But Johnson, who is the Korean man who lives in America, he has so many just interesting conversations on there. But this particular podcast, he was talking with his American friend in Korea who was saying that it became a source of misunderstandings between him and his in-laws initially because his in-laws would always seem to be telling him what to do and telling him how to do things. And he was really confused by that, but apparently that's just part of like a love language that Koreans have, especially the older Koreans in your family. Their love language to you is to kind of tell you things like how to eat and stuff like that. And that's actually something I've seen with my limited experience as well, that I think it's maybe the 언니 오빠 culture, where older people feel like protective of younger people and they want to offer them advice, and that's like their role in the relationship. And you can only really be like close friends with people who are your own age, because then people that are younger than you, you're expected to be the 언니, 오빠, 누나, etc. So it's just fascinating. Michelle Zauner was just observing this son and his mother, and she was like telling him how to eat basically. And she was like, yeah, my mom used to do that as well, and I miss it so much because it was her love language. It's not like in America we think that kind of thing would be like really bossy. Like, we're pretty sensitive to the individual spirit in America, but I think because Korean has a lot of Confucian influence, that's not the way advice is viewed. It's viewed differently, and it's definitely more like acceptable. So this is, I feel like I'm gonna get such a great better understanding of Korean culture through this, and I'm just so excited for it. I also actually DNF'd a middle grade manga that I picked up. I forget where I heard of this, and it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm just DNFing 3-star things lately because I don't want to go into a reading slump, and I already have Pilgrim's Progress, which is really long and difficult, and I'm afraid of getting to a point where I feel like I need to DNF that. So anything else that I feel like I need to DNF, I'm just doing it, not because they're bad. So this is following a young girl who wants to become a witch, and so she goes to the ocean to live with her aunties, and they have like communion with the dragons of the sea basically, and so she wants to also do magic with the dragons of the sea. And it's cute. I love the art style, especially of her younger auntie. She has like cat ears, and she's like a graduate of this magical academy, And I think it's gonna be really cute and good. It's like a little too wholesome for me at the moment, I think. I don't need wholesome right now. I'm on wholesome overload already. And I don't even know why. I just am. Maybe because I'm reading Pilgrim's Progress. I already have wholesome overload. So, but I am really enjoying Pilgrim's Progress. I should like go over my notes so that I can talk to you about that. I'll do that in a minute. But I wanted to talk briefly about Moby Dick again because I'm reading that a little bit every night before bed. And I'm not paying as much attention as I would like, but again, that's the only way I'm going to read this is if I just keep going and don't try to pick up every detail. So I'm in chapter 42, and I'm just going to look at some of the notes that I took. We are getting to know Ahab better, and because this is, what, like 20, this is at like 30-something% in the early 30%-ish area. So now we know why what Ahab's obsession is with the whale Moby Dick. Moby Dick ate his leg, and he has now forced the entire crew, including the guys that we're following, Ishmael and Queequeg, he has forced them to basically commit to kill Moby Dick or die in the process. So something like that. So, yeah, and I feel like that was not a wise decision to, like, drink to the death of Moby Dick. Like, I don't think that's gonna go well for our characters. And it was kind of said early on in this book that Queequeg is eventually going to die at sea. So I don't know if we're gonna see that, but sorry, this is a little bit spoilery for Moby Dick, but honestly, are classic spoilers even really spoilers? I don't know. This book is really old, so if you're feeling spoiled right now, I'm sorry, I should have warned you. And a laugh is the wisest, easiest answer to all that's queer, and come what will, what comfort's always left. That unfailing comfort is, it's all predestinated. Like, Ishmael's a comedian, I'm telling you. I'm really enjoying, whenever it's an Ishmael chapter, I enjoy it more, because I think he has such a strong voice. But the other chapters that aren't really, like, that aren't Ishmaelized, I don't enjoy them as much. So that's unfortunate, but, oh, and there's this whole idea that the whales can travel, like, too quickly, more quickly than they should be able to. And so, all these sailors think, basically, that Moby Dick is ubiquitous. So basically, he's everywhere all at once. He's like the god of the sea, so I'm enjoying that quite a bit. Okay, let me look at my notes for Pilgrim's Progress, and then I will update you further. So in Pilgrim's Progress, I really love that John Bunyan is not holier than thou. Like, this guy went to jail, he was a troublemaker, he is humble. I really like that, and that's partly why I love, like, Dostoevsky. So in this case, you know, Goodwill is telling, Christian, oh, wasn't Pliable willing to just put up with a little bit of trouble, you know, basically to get where you're trying to go. But Christian is like, well, I really know better. So Christian is a humble guy. He's like, I did the same thing. I ran off in the direction of worldly wise men's house instead of following Christ to get rid of my burden, which, by the way, was a powerful moment when the cross of Christ gets rid of Christian's burden. Love it. And when so I forget who he was talking to, but the interpreter. Christian was talking to the interpreter and asked, like, where can I get rid of this burden? It's such a burden on me. And interpreter is like, well, you're not going to be able to get rid of it. Christ has to do that for you. So, Christian girds up his loins, and I just feel like that really gives me, like, courage. I don't know, reading something like that always gives me courage, because sometimes I just feel like life is so hard. Why do you have to keep going and have a good attitude? And honestly, my life is nothing compared to Christian's. It's so easy comparatively. I have nothing to complain about, but, you know, when I feel like life is hard. And okay, and I love this scene as well, the imagery here, where it's talking about what's gonna happen in the end times, basically, when Christ comes back. The dead come to life, the graves opened, and everyone is glad. And some looked upward, and not everybody was glad. Some people sought to hide themselves under the mountains. But yeah, so this is the moment when his burden came off of his back. Very powerful. And yeah, and also this is an example why I want to read more about the saints. Oh, hang on, let me turn you around again, because for Legends-a-thon, oh yeah, that's not the official name yet. I probably shouldn't even tell you yet. But instead of Faustathon this year, we're going to do a readathon based around legends. And the legend that I want to explore is Joan of Arc. Because I don't know anything about her, but Jenny said I would really love her. And I just think that I will. I've heard about her, and I think that I will love her. So I'm going to read Joan of Arc by Mark Twain, and maybe some other stuff. I would love to get like a biography, but I don't know if they have biographies for people that are that old. So I don't know. I don't know that much about biography, period. But yeah. So anyways, I do want to read about the saints. I want to know more about people who came before and believed what they did when life was a lot harder than it is now. So anyways, I'm going to get back to reading Pilgrim's Progress with Jenny. And I can't believe we did 4 sprints tonight. I'm so proud of us. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. I just remembered I also wanted to mention a few other things. So I didn't end up going into town today with my mom, but we are still planning to go to physical therapy tomorrow. So I'll bring you along for that. And I also just filmed my K-Turbathon TBR, so look for that to be coming out shortly after this vlog, hopefully. And I've also just started listening to a podcast that I think some of you guys would really love called the Your Favorite Aunties podcast. And it is 2 wonderful ladies talking about their friendship and God and life, and it's amazing. So highly recommend Your Favorite Aunties podcast. And lately also something else I want to talk about, something I've been doing lately when I'm too stressed to really read. Now that I have some good audiobooks going and I'm just like savoring them so much, is I've been coloring at night if my focus isn't good and just listening to one of the audiobooks while I color. And it's been so wonderful. So I wanted to recommend that to you guys who have problems focusing sometimes due to anxiety or anything else, because coloring is very relaxing. Okay, that's it. Bye. I was so surprised about the prices. Yikes. But it's always so delicious that it's honestly worth it. It's yummy and it's healthy, so that makes sense that it'd be expensive if it's yummy and seafood and healthy in California. So taro, I haven't had taro in a really long time. The last time I had it, it was like a really cheap one a couple of years ago, and it was way too strong. And this one though, it's like really mild. It tastes like popcorn almost. And then the mango stars don't have a strong taste. They're very mild as well. So it's a chill drink, which I always appreciate. Hi, it is now Saturday. What is it, the 10th? I don't remember. So Kevin is dropping off my library books, so I'll show you what we pick up in a minute, and then we're gonna go get a round table pizza. And tonight I'm gonna be talking to Jenny, so on Zoom. I forgot, I was gonna bring you along because I was watching a K-drama last night with Tiffany, but I totally forgot. We watch K-dramas together almost weekly, whenever we can on the week. On Fridays we try to. So we're watching It's Okay Not to Be Okay, and in Korean, I love the name in Korean, Psychojiman 괜찮아. It's okay. Psycho, but it's okay. That's what it means. I've been researching a bunch of recipes today for K-Turbathon because I'm trying to decide all the things I want to make. I'm editing my K-Turbathon TBR, and I tried to sign up for a class today in VA, a watch class of, I think it's called Hello Jadu, which is an animated kids show in Korean that's super cute. But there were like over 100 people who signed up and only 20 of them made it in, and it was like a raffle and I didn't make it in. So there's one more time slot that I can maybe sign up for tomorrow. So I'm gonna try again tomorrow. So maybe I'll let you know if I got in tomorrow. I'll probably update you again tomorrow after I read a little bit more tonight. So yeah, it's been a really good day so far. Kev got out and cleared out all the weeds again, which has to happen every couple weekends. So our yard looks super nice. And there was something else I was going to tell you, but I don't remember now what it was. So maybe I'll tell you if I remember. Okay. Oh, I was going to tell you the foods that I'm looking at. So I'm looking at making, I think, a jjajangmyeon tteokbokki, or jjajang tteokbokki, something like that. So it's tteokbokki that's not super spicy with a black bean sauce. Here are my books. Here it is. I do not remember where I heard this. I may have just seen the title and been like, ooh, I'm really curious, because I think he was in Russia. No, he was in Kiev. Okay, so it's because of the Ukrainian war that this book, I think, was published. The Ukrainian war with Russia. What is the name of that? I don't know. Regardless, excited to read this. I've read another memoir, like, by a former ambassador to Ukraine from the US, and she was really interesting because she talked about how Ukraine was so corrupt, and but the war is still obviously like super, super sad. So I'm excited to hear what this guy has to say about it. I don't even know who he is. I love their salad bar. Got a little bit of almost everything. Yeah. Is this double play pepperoni? Is that what it's called? So normally they have a special on this, but we just found out that it's only special if you order it online. So we had to pay full price. That's okay. Hey guys, it is now Sunday, June 11th, and this hasn't been like a great week for finishing things, but I still read at every chance that I got. I think it's because I'm reading some chunky classics at the moment, so I'm not finishing things very quickly, but that's okay. I'm still really enjoying everything I'm reading, so I'll just talk a bit about them here and about my plans for next week. I forgot to grab my Korean history book by Kyung-Moon Hwang, but I'm almost finished. I actually read some of the last chapter this week, but I didn't take notes on it yet, and I haven't had time. On the weekends, I don't have as much time for focused reading because in the mornings now I'm studying Korean, and then the rest of the weekend I try to spend doing things where I can hang out with Kev to some degree. So I usually don't have time for like really focused reading on the weekends. So at least not on things that are like difficult, like history without an audiobook. So hopefully I'll finish that up next week. I haven't started Cloud Cuckoo Land yet, but I saw that Victoria boxed me. So yay, I can't wait. I'm hoping that means she's reading one of the 3 things we're reading together this month. Moby Dick or Moorland Cottage or Cloud Cuckoo Land. So probably tomorrow I'll check her Vox and then I'll know whether to start this or not. However, I am 2 chapters into crying in H Mart. I read the first chapter on sprints with Jenny the other night, and Sarah, the person I'm buddy reading with, was on the sprint, so that was really fun, starting it with her at the same time. And she just sent me a polo, and I just listened to it, and this is going to be a great buddy read. I'm really bad at keeping up with buddy reads normally, so I'm going to like really focus on this buddy read and like update every chapter. That's my goal, update every chapter. So I've read 2 chapters, I will update that soon. And it's very easy to listen to, but I also, since I'm buddy reading it, I've been going back and rereading what I listened to, and it's really wonderful. I think this is going to be maybe a favorite book. I don't know, at least of the month, if not of the year. But yeah, so she's talked in the second chapter about kind of how she became a foodie because she wanted to connect with her mom. And I just love that because she was at a market in Korea where she and her aunts and her mom, they had a plate of octopus that was still moving, which is a delicacy in Korea because it like suctions your mouth. It's dead, but it's still moving, and so it suctions your mouth and it's considered a delicacy. And obviously kids are going to be freaked out like that, as most people would be the first time they're having it. But her mom was like, try it. And she tried it and they were all proud of her. And so that moment made her realize, oh, I can gain my mom's affection by being brave with food. They liked my courage here. So I thought that was a really cute story. I think I'm really going to love this. And Sarah when she was poloing me, she was like, I think we're going to be crying a lot in this. And I think that she's right. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I can't believe I waited this long to read it. Thank you for reading it with me, Sarah. Not that I don't think she watches this channel, but she's wonderful. You guys should follow her on Instagram. So a good too good. It's her which is a reference to a song that RM wrote. RM of BTS is her bias. I think he's her alt. I think. Anyways, I'm also, of course, still reading Pilgrim's Progress. I'm only 3% farther than I was on Thursday night after our sprint. So I'm at 23% or maybe 24. It's slow going. I should have read some of it this morning, actually. But like I said, I don't have as much focus time in the mornings on the weekends. So, but anyways, that's okay. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I think I'm gonna like enjoy maybe like on a 3-star level. So that's hard for me because I like DNFing 3 stars, but I really do want to like give the whole thing a shot. And then maybe the next time I read it, it would be a higher star rating, but I don't know. I read some of it when I was a teenager, like almost half of it, I think. And I DNF'd it because I was just like not enjoying it. But I think with the help of the audiobook, reading along with it, hopefully I should be able to finish it this time. And I started Saved last night after I finished up chapter 2 of Crying in H Mart, which is why I haven't made as much progress with Pilgrim's Progress, because I am fascinated by this. So I've learned a little bit about what this is going to be about. So Benjamin Hall, he's a war reporter, and he did a lot of like dangerous war reporting when he was young, and then he got married and had kids, and so he kind of pulled back from the front lines. But when Russia invaded Ukraine, he was like, this is the biggest thing that's pretty much happened since I've been a reporter, like for like the world. So, I don't know if that's totally accurate or not, but he was definitely like, I feel like I need to, I think he has 2 different colored eyes. Maybe one of them though is a synthetic eye so look at this picture of him. So he's lost both of his legs. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that one's not gone, but there's some kind of brace on it or something. But this one is gone, and I feel like he maybe has some burn damage. He was in an explosion, and so I know that this book is going to cover the explosion, how he was there. And I know I don't know, it looks like he's been pretty beat up, but it's called Saved because basically in this explosion, he almost lost his life and then was saved by I guess I don't really know the whole story yet, but basically he went to a part of Ukraine that was not supposed to be like a frontline area because he wants to stay safe for his family, but all of Ukraine could very quickly become a war frontline because of the way Russia has invaded it. So yeah, it sounds like really intense what he went through in order to be saved and to get the story out. There was some kind of rescue mission to save him. So, yeah, I think this is going to be really gripping. So I think I read the first chapter. Yeah, I read the prologue last night. So hopefully I can finish this up pretty quickly because there's a lot of holds on this at the library. But we'll see because I also need to prioritize Pilgrim's Progress. So, and I'm still making progress on Moby Dick, slowly but surely. So now I'm in chapter 45. And there were some fun things last night. So, for God's sake, be economical with your lamps and candles. Not a gallon you burn, but at least 1 drop of man's blood was spilled for it. Pretty intense. He's talking about how dangerous the whaling job is, obviously. And there was another thing here. Talking about famous whales that apparently have names. O Timor Jack, thou famed Leviathan, scarred like an iceberg, who so long didst lurk in the oriental straits of that name, whose spout was oft seen from the palmy beach of Ombay. Was it not so, O New Zealand Tom, thou terror of all cruisers that crossed their wakes in the vicinity of the Tattoo Island? Was it not so, O Morkan, king of Japan, whose lofty jet, they say, at times assumed the semblance of a snow-white cross against the sky? Was it not so, O Don Miguel, thou Chilean whale, marked like a tortoise, an old tortoise, with mystic hieroglyphics upon the back? In plain prose, here are 4 whales, as well known to the students of cetacean history as Marius or Scylla to the classic scholar. So I really am enjoying it, even though I'm not following it super well. I feel like I'm getting the big currents, and hopefully the next time I read it, I'll be able to get more of the smaller currents. But yeah, anyways, really enjoying it again on like maybe a 3-star level. So I feel like the longer a book is, the less likely I am to give it a super high rating. That's just who I am these days. And that could change again in the future, but I'm just not super patient with long books at the moment. But that's okay. Anyways, that's it for this week. I'm excited to start next week's vlog because we're starting off the week. Tomorrow, early, we're going to a doctor's appointment, so we'll probably get some yummy food. And then Friday, again, we should be going out to get some yummy food. So there should be lots of fun food content next week because I also need to cook. So anyways, that is it. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend, have had by the time you see this. And let me know down below what you enjoyed this week. I really love hearing what you guys read on a weekly basis. I should just make that a standing order. Please comment down below what you're enjoying this week. It will be like your weekly log. You can log for me the things that you're enjoying reading. I'll talk to you guys very soon, tomorrow probably.